It's day 928 of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. If you'd like to sponsor the Shir more of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi, please contact me directly. Very greatly appreciated. Today we're doing Siman Tov Reish Chav Vav, Sif Chav Beis, Siman Tov Reish Chav Vav, Chav Zayin, Dalit. Chav Beis, Ram Shtei Mishnah Mitzvah Tzich. You need both the Mishnah of the Sukkot Taras Elon and Hillel Les Agefen. Mishnah Shana Kamashal. The first issue is Taras Elon Psula under the tree. It's possible chonya, no matter what. If you live in Sukkot Chamasa, you know the Sukkah has more shade than sun. Elon Chamasa Muba, and the tree has more sun than shade. Came Shlokatzam because you didn't cut off the branches. So Mukha Bagmar with Shechavtan, and that which one says you have to be chobetem is the Zel cuts on the Rambam. It means you have to cut them off. When the Rambam Mishnah Kaya Amema the Rav Hasham, it's going to Rav statement there. The bracket says here about the Parach Nina Hidla. When I side it says Hidla. Kaken Rava Kai Kamash Kasav Rashi. So it's going to Rava. That's the first Mishnah. The second Mishnah tells us cuts it on. When you cut the branches, Vaschach Harvey man and Schach is much more than them. Kisher it's kosher. But they themselves are still possible. Mishum Tasev Lom Ratsu. Because they just came there automatically. They were not made. The schach was not majority, so you have to shake those branches which you just cut. So they did themselves become kosher. Then it says the ear of davashim, the mix which can be schach, which can't be schach. This halacha is not mentioned anywhere in the Gemara. And the Rambam about the rates. Rambam still coming to answer. How can that feel that even the tree is more sun than shade? And the sukkah is more shade than sun. Pesula, apostle, it's clear it's no good if you didn't cut the branches. What kind of parts come in mutter? And we hold that if you have a 50% obstruction, 50% open space. By Hilchos Shabbos and at most you need that it should be able to come in and out easily, as we shall see. Why is it possible here? That's around my answers. And so that's when the kosher is by itself and the pus is by itself. Not when they're mixed together. When one is underneath the other. Which time in the middle, slenderly, what's the reason? So this was also stated by walls. The mechitzas have just like by walls, in order to be say the walls are by themselves and the open spaces by itself, they're distinct. But only if they're cut off and not shaken. The psul mishum tase v'lomena osui b'zeikilu leilach acharov. In other words, they don't follow the majority because the majority only works when it's distinct and you can tell what's the kosher, what's the puzzle. Not here where it's mixed together. It's a big chiddush. That's why Arukh HaShulchan is playing the Rambam, as opposed to where the issue is only tase v'lomena osui, not an issue of puzzle schach. Well, then. It can be mixed together. A big chidushim here. For all this, by the way, it says in the brackets, this all the words of Ram are clear and straight. From all the things that we've explained, we learned kosher. We learn a mixture of schach possible with schach kosher, and it's not like any other mixture of Isser and Heter, where we say that the Isser is simply butter barov. The Misham Kamash Yisr Misarv Inanikar Adi Vito there, and the more it gets mixed together, and you can't tell the difference between Isser and Heter, the more susceptible it is to be to nullification. The Schach have a mamash lefer, according to what the said, of course, but Schach is the exact opposite. The more separated it is, the better it is, according to the Rambam. Rambam Pagamri Pasuk Shem, but always Yabiach, according to the Rambam, it's totally possible when they're mixed together. I feel the other person, the Chavota Hashpala, would say that Chavota means to lower the branches, Bata Gankein, and the branches which are possible will be Batel. Gange Griya mi below Tarovis. It's still worse than without being mixed together. The Paratz Kaimet, where we say that 50-50 is okay. The Tarovis being rubbed, whereas by Tarovis 50-50 is not, you need the majority of kosher schach. Which I receive Gimel Shem Aran Zal. Shalokli Misha Omer Bekan Inyan Bittel. So it's not like those who say that here is a matter of bittel involved here. Totally not. Oh, there's a totally different parameter here. It's like halachas and mechitzas. Also halachas and bittul. They got these bar, and also become clarified. Ancient b'chilaveng shapsul munach kosher or kosher apostle. Doesn't matter what's on top and what's on bottom. The kosher of the apostle. The Mishnah of the sukkah should have a gef ilan because the Mishnah of the sukkah underneath the tree have an apostle on the kosher. The psul is on top of the kosher. The Mishnah of the Hila and the other Mishnah have a kosher apostle. Kosher on the apostle schach. Chadina is they both the same halacha. It's like the Ramon, like those who reject what he says. Brackets, he says here, maybe it's for this purpose that we have the second Mishnah to teach us that, I think we said this before. Doesn't matter if it's at the top or the bottom. Rama writes, you can make sukkah on the roofs which are open, to open and close. You're allowed to close them because of the rain. And open them again. I feel beyond them shy of the you have to be allowed to close them and open them. Yesh will seem to have hinges, with which you open and close them. It doesn't have, it's not going to be destructing and constructing a binyan or beyond of a tent on yontif. Shouldn't sit underneath the schach when the overhead roof is closed. The reason this is okay, any roof which opens by hinges have a capacity Muhammad, just like a door. You're a leader. I feel she disturbed time. I'm going to say see without. I'm sure that's a coin. Even coin of Rabbi time ago, which he made see without. Kosh Kurim as Schach Kosh Apostle. Rebbe Schach Kosh. Never Schach Kosh comes apostle. Ain't up to apostle. The apostle cannot apostle the kosher schach. I feel shoots less and Ruben Michamaso. Even where the shade is of the schach apostle is more than it's the sun. The kan im sachacho ba'od shagagi apasuach kimin of schach kosher kadam. And here, if you put the schach on top before while the roof is open, so schach kosher seeds to come first. So it shouldn't matter that if you close the roof, we come nevertheless. So when you close the roof, it's possible to sell because that's a bridge too far. So it's like a sukkah in a house. The psul machas says because the psul is because of sukkah's teishu. You guys in the sukkah. Below Vaishal Kol must show now the house of the entire year. It's not just an issue of schach posel and schach kosher. Now this is an issue of a much graver type of sukkah in a house. We are ready to anything where it's not in the schach itself. There's no issue of taseh. You should make it, but also not which is made on its own. That's why you can put it in the schach even when the roof is closed. Those who say the gamba can't even hear it. You have to do the schach when the roof is open. The dafka only when you actually take off the roof itself. That's called a maaseh. Only if you were to remove the roof entirely would consider it to be a maaseh. V'lo supposed to have just opened the roof. That's not called a maaseh. He clears on this opinion between when the psul is in the schach itself and ben shelo schach, or when it's not a schach, that's ben Rama, like the Arukh HaShulchan explained the Rama. No matter what, shaykh tasev l'minasui, the tasev is relevant. It's just if you take off the entire roof, now it's ma'isa gemula, like a complete ma'isa, like she doesn't make kosher. So you can't say that this is not minasui b'psul. The ain't asiya she'avra. There was no asiya in the past. Now there's complete ma'isa of doing it. Suppose when you're just opening the roof, if you're not removing it. Therefore, according to this opinion, you have to be careful only putting the schach when the roof is open. Even though Arukh HaShulchan definitely said not that way in the previous sif, here he says you should be machmir and not deviate. You can see assume if you put on schach when the roof was closed, you should open up and shake all the schach. Means to pick it up and put it down again. Has to be machmir. Chavav yesh mechalim shamar. There's one that said the besichas agag. Besichas agag opening the roof me'al sukkah on top of sukkah kanog etzlenu, as customary by us. Lo yamid agag b'sukkah be'emtza schach el min atzad. Should not put the open roof in the middle of the schach, but on the side. The time on the zvinas is the minan. We say hafkan atzayim. So if you take something which is possible to the schach, and it's you put it on its side, even though it was possible because it was a shear. And now it's less than a shear because it's like a beam like this. So when it's on the side, it's wider. When it's on its and it's the other side. When it's on the other side, it's narrower. And as I explains, the nesesha if you have a plank of 4 tvachim, I feel hafchan. Even you put them the other way. Also, chasos boshum zera sticker now to use it on the schach because of the gzera of might come to use an actual roof. It's going to explain later on. In Hacha here, Ko Rocha Bagaga Pasuach, the entire width of the open roof, which is on its side. It's like it's on top of the roof. Not sure that's the exact language, but I guess it's like it's as if the gag is horizontal, even though it's vertical. There's the plain Merce brother Shai Chuba. Vein Amina can it's not the minik vein atam nachon, and the reason is not correct. He says, "Oh, call it isu mishum because they're what she's parsham. Whole issue is they might sit under your roof. Came what you are sukla vatel ticker, but here since your entire purpose is to negate the roof. The same post that's the opening of Shai says there's tikra. You can't make a zera tikra here. Shem misham is supposed to there shem side behind. We're using it for schach as opposed to using it for cover. Side is a schach. Shai is zera tikra there. Zera tikra is relevant. The bracket says, "Yesh the riot." There's evidence of this. Mihada mina tazvav and now, which it says in Sukkot tazvav, but we do a tikra committee argue about negating a roof. You know, leave with the Beisil came in the butler once it's negated 2 lake of the migzak much cost the barashi. Came there's no say it's tikra. Koshkim chaykam so in arkish magbia mabid al tzila when outside we're picking up the roof and putting it on its side. The sharaka schach kosher but so it should be left only schach kosher. Like the migzak, there's nobody to make a decree. I feel like even though according to those who argue there. Koshke look Rabbi Yehuda the Beisil so because it looks like Rabbi Yehuda according to Beisil that there is no issue of there's tikra once it's butter. Tav Reish Chav Zayin. Dina Yoshin Tachas Amita v'Tachas Akila Upeyas Sodid. The law of somebody sleeps under a bed, under a canopy, or spreads a sheet in the sukkah. Just like sukkah has to be under the air, under the air of heaven. Somebody sitting and sleeping in sukkah. So the taras avir sukkah is going to be under the airspace of the sukkah. Not under another airspace. Which would interrupt between the sukkah and the person. Someone sleeps under a bed in the sukkah. Is not Yotz's obligation. Sets it up when the bed is 10 tefachim high. Now it's a significant oel in of itself. Yoshin taras oel hamita, and when you sleep under the bed, you're sleeping under the tent of the bed. Taras oel sukkah, not under the tent of the sukkah. I wish I go a but it's not 10 tefachim high. We're not concerned. We shouldn't look at it's not going to be an oel. But I've got to have an oil comment for him. Even if it's less than tefachim, it's oil for several things. I suppose less than 10 shurach with tefach when it's a tefach wide. No tumachay it's a bezef or tum etc. The stam meter chav tefach most beds have a tefach underneath and more. Come nevertheless ain't all gomel too late all of the sukkah. It's still not a absolute oil to negate all of the sukkah. And can't go about so less 10 fucking high. And Murash Bashas, the Murash says in sukkah reish berg base. Abba Yushan Mashayli Abba She'enik V'Asara. And Yushan seems possible even if it's not 10 fucking high. Come shots on and okay never was hard shots. It only is it was 10 fucking base. The die you should know Sheish Mishem Shem with the Zerak Mirabar. That the oil of the bed is the vato of all the sukkahs on Mirabar. I mean, Raisi Yatsa, but you Raisi Yatsa, you ain't all Mabat in all Mita Mabat all sukkah. The tent of the bed is not going to negate the tent of the sukkah. Have a look into Asari for Rosh, it's not been the river Rosh, Shakasu Sheik, a sukkah, right, that it's like a sukkah inside a sukkah. And it goes to Rambam. The Rambam writes the same thing. But the ain't coming us and say, Mamish in the sukkah, sukkah. Obviously, don't mean it's literally a sukkah within a sukkah. The sukkah, sukkah, Afina Mikra. Sukkah in another sukkah is known for a pasuk, it's a problem. A Kavanasa rather mean to say the Pasuk Tachas Amita Havi Doraisa, the Psula being under the bed is like is Doraisa just like the Psula Sukkah, the Psula of a Sukkah inside Sukkah. Can't just have a Ramban Bamil Chamos Ayin Sham. The Ramban writes a similar thing. The Sharatzion says the Bach writes according to Rif and Rosh, it's the Raisa, according to Razot, it's the Rabbanan. Prima Ganim is not sure, maybe even according to Rif and Rosh, it's only Rabbanan. Be it as it may. Gimel, Vayoshin Alam Mita Taras Akila, somebody sleeps on a bed but under a canopy. Zavilos Aprusas Svilos Amita, these are the curtains which are hung around the bed. V'gam Lamalam Chubarim Yad and Gag, they also are connected together above the bed, like a roof. Yimanagwa Asar Tvachim, if that section is not 10 tefachim high, to the roof of the canopy from the bed, Abishesh Lagak Rochav Tefach, even though it has a roof which is a tefach wide, or if it doesn't have a roof which is a tefach wide, sorry, even it's 10 tefachim high, it's like a severe teepee. Arukh HaShulchan, it's not considered a tent by itself. They have a second man, a sukkah. The Adam doesn't interrupt between the sukkah and the person. But it's 10 tefachim high. And the width of the ceiling of the curtain on top is a tefach. Oil, it's like considered oil kimita, just like a bed of mafsekes. That interrupts. Somebody sleeps on this canopy. Lo yatsa yidei chavasa min hatere. And you sleep even midaraisa. The clothes shelo yeh pachos mirochav tefach. Shampoo of oil is that can't be less than the width of a tefach. Maybe chashivas will have to be a significance of a tent, so it's got to have the 10 tefachim high. For lama b'mita b'dvar rochav tefach. Why don't we mention the width of a tefach by a bed? The bed, in order to support the person, has to have at least a tefach wide. Just basically, in terms of somebody who sleeps under a bed, even if the walls of the bed are very short, that they don't have a tefach, nevertheless it has a shem oil. I'm not sure what exactly he's talking about. Okay. Even if at the top curtain there isn't a tefach there itself, because it's a very steep angle. If the angle of the teepee is such that within 3 tefachim of the pinnacle of the teepee is a tefach across, then it's tantamount to the roof, the ceiling having a tefach. I think like less than 3 tefachim is like a level, and it makes the it's as if it's if it's a flush surface of a tefach. Okay. But if it's more than 3 between the gap, or mishlosh between precisely 3, let's let it's not a problem. Similarly, if the walls of the keel are considered to be walls, it's only if they reach within 3 tefachim of the ground. So there's level to the ground. If the walls between arch they're more than 3 tefachim above the ground. Here, it's not at all. It's no different than any other wall which is rendered puzzle if it doesn't reach within 3 tefachim of the ground. The Bible says, that's Arukh HaShulchan's opinion. I know some of them say, the Prima says, tefach ayin sham. He goes, for much friend says, has to be a tefach on the ground, which is unique. Moshe argues on the ceiling ish svara of if it's a tefach within 3 tefachim of the roof. The main halacha is like we wrote it, says Arukh HaShulchan. The Bishop says the Gura says that even if it doesn't have in the roof a rochav tefach, it's only mutter if the sheets reach the ground. As if there's an airspace of hefsek between the sheets and the ground, even just the shear of a tefach, that's also. I don't understand the Matthias. I mean, we just got to finish saying the 3 tefachim. I don't understand where this tefach comes from. I don't know what this Mishabura is saying. Sorry.